Yo, what's going on, man? Welcome in. Today is March the 11th. We have only 4 games on the board for today. Be a pretty quick show. Let's jump right into it for today. So we got yesterday I was on 3 official plays. I went 1 and 2. Sucks the way that they lost too. So the Sacramento and New York, I gave that out on the show live yesterday. That was a loser. The Kings really I guess it was the second leg of the back-to-back. They didn't play any defense, gave up 130 points to the Knicks without Jalen Brunson. Denver, OKC, I called it live. I should have put live right here. Under 256.5, the Nuggets scored 30-plus points 34-plus points, I think, at every single quarter last night. OKC just could not stop them. And, of course, they get the win as well. It was the worst defensive performance by OKC all season. And lo and behold, the only winner I had yesterday was Phoenix plus 4.5. Who would have ever thought? Me betting on Phoenix, hadn't bet on them since the San Antonio game early this season. And it ended up being the only winner that I had. So, that's what it was for myself yesterday. Lose a little bit less than a unit, so I'm not going to cry about it too much. But I thought with all the games yesterday, it would be profitable. Couple things on the short list didn't cash. Couple things on the short list did cash. Wish I really would have added Jalen Green under. But I found the news a little too late before the game started with Fred VanVleet being ruled out and the number going up. Let's go through a couple comments. What up, Fear Elite? Good morning, Coach. Good morning, Jose. What up, GLB Bets? Gina says, good morning, Chris and community. Let's cash today. Don't really like today's card of games. And it's kind of ugly. It is kind of gross, so we'll be quick. Good morning, William. What up, PZ? What up, Manny? It's top of the morning, gang. We lit today. I've been cashing the past 2 days. Let's keep it going. Like to hear that. William says, you late, homie, but good morning. Yeah, just a couple minutes late, but I appreciate you for tapping in, William. Good morning, Justin. Appreciate you for tapping in as always, as well, bro. All right, so let's jump into it for today. We start off with Jackson, as we always do, your sports betting AI tool, buddy, companion, whatever you want to call it. Real quick with Jackson. So Jackson gave out 4 plays yesterday. It was 2 sides. One of them was you know what? I got it right here in front of me. I don't gotta look at it. Jackson likes the Heat minus the 9.5. That was a loser. Like the Lakers and Nets under 216.5. That was a loser. That finished at 218. And then it also liked Kamara over his assists at 1.5. That was a winner. And it liked Wiggins over his assists as well. 20.5 points in assists for Wiggins, and that was also a winner. So 2 and 2 for Jackson yesterday. Today's simple prompt was, what is the best NBA prop bet based on the last 20 hit rate for hit rate type of people? And it says that Nicholas Claxton up and over his points is actually the best play today as far as player props. Over 7.5 points for Nicholas Claxton, minus 135. It says is the odds over on DraftKings. So not the best odds, but shop around, you may get a better number. Hit rate last 20 games, 85%. Up and over he's averaging 10.85 points, almost 11 points over his last 20 games. Season average is 10.11 points per game. And hit rate against the Cavs, he's 3 for 3. He's hit the over in all 3 games versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, averaging 8.67. Cavs ranked 13th against Claxton's position, which is middle of the pack. High consistency as far as the hit rate, over 85% of his last 20 games, showing strong reliability. Success against Cleveland, I just talked about that, 100% hit rate. Favorable matchup. While Cleveland's defense is solid, Claxton's consistent scoring and ability to capitalize on opportunities in the paint make it a strong play. So, yeah, Claxton up and over his 7.5 points. I would have not had this on my bingo card at all. Never look at Claxton points prop, but that's why you like Jackson, man. That's why you invest in Jackson. So check it out if you're interested. 50% discount code in the description of the video for people who are interested. Get some help with your player props, your size, your totals, all that good stuff. Let's jump into it for today. First game we got up is the Milwaukee Bucks and the Indiana Pacers. Let me just double check, make sure this line has not moved. It is starting to move to 3.5. The threes are starting to get popped now. Starting to go to 3.5. I do agree with the movement. I think you can still get 3 though. I kind of feel like it's a Buck spot. I kind of feel like it's an over spot. It's my thought process. So I'm looking at it right now. It did open at 2.5 last night, about 10:45 Eastern Standard Time. Got bet up to 3. Now it's moving to 3.5. So the early money this morning is pushing. The market likes the Bucks in this game. They do have the rest advantage. So let's jump into it. Injury report real quick on the Bucks side of things. I think it's just Pat Connaughton, and I think he's the only person listed as questionable. Let me just double check it real quick. And then I'm not sure what's going to happen with the Pacers. They could I don't think anybody thought Halliburton would be out this long, but Halliburton has missed the last couple games. And the Pacers didn't even play necessarily that bad yesterday. They ended up losing the game. They ended up getting smoked, but they really only lost the second. Excuse me. They really only lost the second quarter. They got smoked in the second quarter. I think they lost the second quarter by like 19 points, and they've just been very inconsistent. So you got Halliburton listed as game time decision. We'll see if he plays. And then Dame and Giannis are both listed as game time as probable in this game. So I think that they're going to play. Of course, you got the playoff revenge for the Pacers here, for the Bucks here. Milwaukee has won both games so far this season, so you could say that the Indiana Pacers got double in-season revenge. Milwaukee's covered both games as well this season, and both totals have gone up and over. The Bucks aren't necessarily that great on the road, 12-17-1 against the number. So if you like the Bucks, you probably want to get in on the 3. That way they only have to win the game by 1 possession instead of getting 3.5, and they got to win by 2. Back-to-back losses for the Bucks. They lost to Orlando, lost to Cleveland. Back-to-back non-covers as well, and it still is third game in 4 nights. They got a big game coming up on Thursday against the Lakers, so 1 day of rest after this game. The Pacers also been struggling. You got the Bucks, like I said, major rest advantage here, and I think looking at the Pacers, the spot for the Pacers is a road home back-to-back, so they do have to travel. They were in Chicago last night. It sets up well for a Bucks spot here. I don't think the Bucks can overlook them. I know that the Pacers have lost a couple games. Both of these teams have lost a couple games, but I would probably play on a team that has a little bit more rest in this spot, especially with the way that the Bucks lost on national TV to the Cleveland Cavaliers in their last game. When I start looking at this game from like an X's and O's perspective, Milwaukee does have a major advantage in the mid-range. Last 5 games, they're 5th in mid-range frequency, 2nd in mid-range accuracy. You got a Pacers team that's 19th in opponent accuracy and 27th in opponent 19th in opponent accuracy and 27th in opponent frequency over the last 5 games. So I do expect the Bucks to be able to score in the mid-range. I also expect we'll see what the Bucks want to do on the offensive end. They do run a lot of pick and roll, 2nd in frequency, 4th in efficiency. Indiana's bottom 5 defending the pick and roll. On the other side of the ball, Indiana's lived at the 3-point line recently. They're 8th in 3-point frequency, 8th in 3-point frequency last 5 games. The Bucks have been kind of bottom of the pack, 19th, I guess. Not bottom of the pack, but middle of the pack, I guess I should say, in defending the 3-point line as far as opponent 3-point accuracy. And this is what I like. I'll get into a couple trends, and then I'll tell you guys what I think the biggest advantage is. So the Pacers are, trend-wise, the Pacers are 3-6 straight up, 2-7 against the spread when they're playing unrested, including 0-4 against the spread in their last 4. They're 0-2 straight up and against the spread if they're playing unrested at home, and 2-0 to the under as well. So one thing to note, if you do like the Pacers, is that their starters didn't play heavy minutes. Because they were getting blown out, Rick Carlisle took the starters out like third quarter with like 5 minutes left. So the starters didn't play heavy minutes last night. He just kind of rocked with the bench and let them, see if they could come back. They played with a lot of great energy, a lot better energy than the starters did. So yeah, none of them played more than 24 minutes last night for Indiana. So that's something to put in your back pocket if you like the Pacers as a dog here. Here's my problem with the game, though, and why it's difficult for me to take a side. Because when we think back to what, if you look at the last few games for the Pacers, they've lost 3 games in a row now. Two to the Atlanta Hawks, and then they just got smoked by Chicago last night. Those 3 games, they've been giving up. They've been like getting abused in the paint. I'm not sure if Miles Turner is out there or if he's in the game or if teams just taking him outside the paint and then they're just attacking Siakam. But the Bulls scored 68 points in the paint last night. Go back a game against Atlanta. Atlanta scored 58 points in the second game. Atlanta scored 74 points in the first game. So 3 games, you just gave up 68 points in the paint, 58 points in the paint, and 74 points in the paint. Last 5 games, of course, Indiana is allowing a league high 63 points in the paint. Problem is Milwaukee doesn't really, they like to stand around and shoot a bunch of jump shots. On the season, they're only third. They averaged the third fewest points in the paint. Last 5 games, they're about middle of the pack, 15. So what that tells me is that maybe I want to play on Giannis, like to go up and over his points prop. I think he should be able to get downhill. We know that he likes to attack the rim. That tells me that Giannis should feast in this game, just because the Pacers on the second leg of a back-to-back with travel should be able to get pretty much whatever it is that they want. If I'm playing the game, though, just to kind of summarize it all, I think I like over a little bit more than anything else. I think both of these teams are going to be able to score the basketball. I saw that the total opened at 232. It's up to 234 and a half on some books, 234. I just kind of think both teams are going to be able to score. I don't trust the Pacers defense right now. Both of these teams top 10 in pace over the last 5 games. And I do think Indy potentially, especially if they get Hallie back, I think that they're going to be able to score against the Bucks defense as well. So that's my thought process. I think if I had to play it, I'd be laying the 3 with the Bucks, and I look towards the over, and potentially a look towards Giannis to go up and over his points prop as well. Just thinking that he should be able to get downhill and put a lot of pressure on the rim. The Pacers aren't guarding the rim well at all. Let's see what we got in the comment section here. Shout out to my guy Justin, gifted a membership for somebody. I don't know who got it, but appreciate you, Justin, for doing so. I don't even know how you do that. Cecil says, blessed morning. I'm new and love the show. Blessings from Nassau, Bahamas. Shout out to Cecil. I was down there like not last year, Cecil, but the year before. I went on the Disney cruise. Took my son on the Disney cruise and went to Nassau, Bahamas. It's nice down there, man. Blessings to you and to your loved ones as well, man. Appreciate you for tapping in, for sure. PZ says, appreciate the membership, Justin. Justin played the team total over for the Bucks, 118 and a half. I like it. Adam likes Milwaukee on the money line. Jose says Bucks tonight. What up, Brian? Says Bucks money line, half unit. I like it. Real quick, let's see what that money line price is, and we'll move over to the next game. You can still get Bucks right now, minus 145 on Caesars. Just play them on the money line. I couldn't talk anybody off. I think the Pacers. But here's the thing. If Holly gets ruled in, you'll get a better line. So we'll see what happens with Holly, man. I didn't think Holly would miss this many games. Tyrese Halliburton would miss this many games in a row. We'll see how it goes. Next game up, let's go a little bit faster. We got the Wizards and the Pistons. I saw this line open at 13 last night. Of course, it has moved in favor of the Pistons, and for good reason. I think, who was it? It was somebody that left the game last night for the Wizards. I know Bud Carrington left the game with a hand injury. I'm not sure if he came back or not. And then I feel like it was somebody else as well that left the game for the Wizards. Bilal Coulibaly, I think is how you pronounce his name, did not return to that game with right hamstring tightness. Probably not going to be available in this game. We'll see if Brogdon plays. He was ruled out last night with an ankle injury. He hasn't really been playing, but he is listed as game time decision. Chris Middleton and Marcus Smart also rested last night. They probably will play because it's the second leg of a back-to-back. And they want nothing to do with beating Detroit 2 times in a row last night. So the way I see this game, Bud Carrington left, Bilal left. You get Marcus Smart and Chris Middleton in, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I'm not playing the 15 and a half point spread, but that's the only way I think that would look. Detroit did win the earliest matchup between the two teams. They beat them by 20. They were only laying 5. 3 straight unders in the head-to-head matchup. And you got a Wizards team that's on the second leg of a road back-to-back, of course. Detroit first game back home after a 4-game road trip. They have been crushing. 7-2-1 against the spread. They even covered that game against the Wizards on Saturday as well. And they beat the Portland Trailblazers to end the road trip. So they've covered the last 2. The way I'm gonna play this game, I just haven't locked it in yet. I'm gonna play the Washington team total under. It's 109 and a half. I'm looking at the Pistons, number 1 defensive rated team last 5 games, number 1 in opponent effective field goal percentage. But even outside of that, what does Washington like to do? They like to get out, play fast, 6th in transition frequency. Detroit, top 10 in opponent transition frequency and efficiency on the season. Washington also 6th, surprisingly, in rim frequency last 5 games. So taking a lot of shots at the rim. Detroit top 10 in defense, both in opponent rim frequency and accuracy over the last 5 games. So I don't think Detroit's going to play with their food here. I know both of these teams do play pretty fast, but I think Detroit locks up this Washington team. And then a couple trends to kind of back it as well. Detroit, they've only been a double-digit favorite 3 times this season. They gave up 102 to Charlotte. They gave up 94 to Brooklyn. They gave up 106 to Utah. All 3 of their opponents stay well under this total of 110 is what we would need for the Washington Wizards to not score today. The Wizards on the other side, they've been double-digit road dogs without rest. So unrested double-digit road dogs 6 times this season. They're averaging 103 points in those 6 games. They stayed under this 110 in 5 of the 6. So just makes a lot of sense in my opinion. I'm playing the Wizards team total under 110. These two teams do play again tomorrow. I mean, not tomorrow. They play again on Thursday. I think the game is in Detroit as well. Yeah, in Detroit as well. So, yeah, that's the way that I'm going to play it. I'm going to play the Detroit defense, play on Detroit defense, whether they cover the spread or not. Their team total is like 124.5. They probably could get there, but the Wizards have been playing a little bit better defense. I just don't think that the Wizards are going to be able to score. Don't expect them to get any kind of offensive rebounds. I think they gave up 28 offensive rebounds last night to Toronto. So that's what I'll play on. I play on Detroit's defense. Take the Wizards to not be able to score the basketball in this spot. Give me the Wizards team total under. Official play in this one. Have not sent it out to the members. Haven't even bet it yet, but that's what I'm going to play in this game. Let's see if we have thoughts on this one. Kool-Aid said, yo. He says, good morning, y'all. Over here rebuilding the engine, but I had to tap in. Like that. Appreciate you, bro. Adam says, Buck spot. I hope they show up. You never know. Yeah, that's a fact. It's not like the Pacers not going to come out and try to fight hard. I think this is the national TV game tonight too, right? I want to say it is. Let me just double check. Tuesday. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Bear with me. Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, this is the TNT game tonight. For sure. Jumped on Detroit last night, minus 12.5. I didn't even see it open that low, but good job getting the best number for sure. When was the last time Pistons were laying favored by 2 touchdowns? It's been a while, JM. It's been a while, man. I was looking into the Pistons as as double-digit favorites. They've laid the Hornets, they laid 12. The Nets, they laid 12.5, and then the Jazz, they laid 10.5. But 14 points is a lot. 14 points is a lot. Matter of fact, just because you asked, let's see when the last time the Pistons were laying this many points. They were laying this many points in 2008. You got to go back 17 years to find the last time that the Pistons were laying 14 points or more. They were laying 14 points to the Heat back on April the 6th, 2008. I was about to graduate high school. And they won and covered. They beat the Heat 91-75. Oh, that's a good find. Good find there. All right, cool. Let's jump on to the next one. Jose says team total under. I like it. Justin says Pistons on TNT. Guess I'll be binge watching Mayor of Kingston. Nah, they're not playing on TNT, Justin. This not this game. If I said that, if you heard me wrong, I was talking about the Bucks and the Pacers on TNT. This game won't touch national TV. You can't touch it. The ratings are already down. You don't want to be putting the Wizards on national TV. Absolutely not. Onk says I'm from Detroit and we play better at home. I believe they turned up tonight. I would disagree, Onk. I think that y'all play better on the road. Actually, the ATS wise, y'all better on the road. But neither here nor there, man. I appreciate who said that. Who said when was the last time that they were laying? JM, I appreciate you for even making me even think about looking into that. All right, let's get over to the next ones. We got team total under for the Wizards in this spot for me. Nets and the Cavs, we can actually skip over this one. I'll give y'all what I got in my notes, but I'm not going near this game. Brooklyn probably end up resting, a player or two, especially after beating my Lakers last night. Cam Thomas didn't play in that game, so he'll probably be back. It was injury management for him. Cam Johnson maybe sits. I have no idea what to do with this game. And Cleveland has won all 3 matchups. They covered the last 2 as double-digit favorites. I'm not laying 18 points with the Cavs, though. They don't have a look-ahead spot, though. I will say that. I think Cleveland's next game is against Memphis, but they don't play again until Friday. So it's not like the Cavs even have a look-ahead spot. I don't know. Brooklyn is 19-13-1 against the spread on the road, 1-4 against the spread last 5 before last night. So they did cover and win last night. Cleveland just beat Milwaukee by 12 as a 7-point favorite. on ESPN. So that was probably the big game that they were looking forward to. They have played 3 straight unders, have the Cleveland Cavaliers. Like I said, they don't have a look ahead spot. So it's a simple pass for me. Like I don't even want to play it from a player prop perspective just because the spread's so big. So maybe some Brooklyn unders. I'm not sure what to do with this game though. Easy pass for me. I want nothing to do with it. Brian says, good morning, Chris. Looks like our Lakers are in a tough, it's a little rough patch for sure. That Lakers schedule is not kind at all, Brian. We got the Bucks coming up on TNT on Thursday. And then after the Bucks game, we got a game in Denver on Friday, second leg of a back-to-back in Denver. Probably get smoked in that game on NBA TV Friday night. It's not a kind schedule. Then we got Phoenix coming into town on Sunday. They need all the wins they can get, but seems like they can't beat a good team to save their lives. So not good for us right now, Brian, but that's just the way the season goes, man. Way the season goes. Cavs win margin 1-11. Daryl says that's a little low. I'm with Ski here. He says these games are trash, and I agree with that. That Wizards team total under though, Ski, I think is the only thing I'm probably gonna play today. 110 with no Bilal, potentially no Bud Carrington. Detroit being the number 1 defensive rated team, getting back in transition. I think that's the only thing I'm gonna play today, Ski. Let's see. Cleveland's opposing teams to go under their 3 prop is always a good look. Okay. DeAndre Hunter for Sean over his 13.5 sounds good. Okay. I skipped this game though. Last one is Clippers and Pelicans. I don't really like this one either. So injury report real quick. I think Norman Powell will continue to be out. Let me just double check. I think he's out. Yeah, Norman Powell is out. Ben Simmons is out. Jose Alvarado game time decision. Kelly Olynyk got the night off, and Brandon Boston is out. So it's another game that I really just don't want anything too much to do with. If I am betting it though, like when I was looking into it, so it's the second matchup of the season. The Clippers did win 116-113 as a 4.5-point favorite earlier. So they didn't cover, and the game did go over a 219 total. Totals are actually 7-3 to the under between these two teams in the last 10 matchups. And real quick, let me just see where the total is going in this one. So open 221, and it is up. I agree with that. 224.5 is what it's up to. You can still find some 224s as well. I kind of feel like it's going to be a over type game. If you've been paying attention to the shows that I've done since Friday, these terrible teams, and when I say terrible, I mean the Pelicans, the Spurs, the Jazz, the 76ers, all of these teams that have no playoff aspirations are just going out there. It's like pickup almost. They're just going up and down, running up and down the floor. And I think the Pelicans, they fit the mold for that. So if I'm playing the game, I do like the over. I think the Clippers should be able to score in this game. When I was looking at it earlier, I don't even think I wrote it down. Let me just go back to it real quick. Yeah, when I was looking at it earlier, the Pelicans are playing pretty fast. 14th in pace last 5 games. They are the 4th worst defensive efficiency team. Defensive efficiency is a 125.2. And the Clippers offense starting to pick it up. They're 13th in offensive rating last 5 games, 117.2 offensive rating. I think that they should be able to score the basketball. Do they cover? I'm not sure. But probably a look towards the Clippers team total to go up and over. Clippers also run a lot of ISO, first in frequency on the full season. Pelicans not great defensively against the ISO. You know what else the Clippers do? A lot of post-ups. The top 10 in post-up frequency, 6th in post-up efficiency. Who the Pelicans got that's going to be able to stop Zubac today? In my opinion, nobody. They're 29th in opponent effective field goal percentages against post-up. So I do think that the Clippers will be able to score. The Pelicans also been playing pretty fast as well. So maybe the Pelicans can pace up the Clippers in this spot because they have been playing slow. Real quick, if we go over to the outlier, just to look at the player prop for Zubac, because if I'm playing anything today from a player prop perspective, I do like Zubac quite a lot. And I know that the number is a tad bit inflated. I just feel like Zubac is going to have a big game today. Just stylistically, it makes a lot of sense, right? So if we look at Big Zoo, not going to find a better matchup for him today. This is his points plus rebounds is what I was looking at. 32.5, I think it is. Let's see. Points plus rebounds. Yeah, 32.5. So you can see that he's hit 5 of the last 10 games, 3 of the last 4 though. And I just think that they're going to be able to feed him in this spot. When I was looking a little bit deeper into it, head-to-head wise, he had 36 rebounds and points together the last time that they played back on December the 30th. He shot 9 for 13 in that game, and you can see that right here. So 36, shot 9 for 13 in that game. And I just think that he's going to get a ton of opportunity in this game. When you look at like just like his matchup specifically, this is the Pelicans team that's, allowing the second most points in the restricted area. They're the worst defensive rated team in the NBA. They give up the second most points to the center position. And we know that they, struggle to rebound the basketball as well. They give up the second most rebounds. So Zubac should have a big game today. I think over 31.5 points plus, over 31.5 points plus rebounds is probably, I know it's a pretty simple look, but I think it's probably my favorite. I also consider Harden, and for people that are new, there's a link in the description to check out Outlier if you're interested. You can get a 7-day free trial. I also feel like James Harden assists could absolutely go crazy in this spot. I think he's listed at 9.5. The Pelicans give up a ton of assists on the full season, so couldn't talk anybody off for looking at James Harden either. And I kind of think it's a team total over spot if you want to stay away from the spread here. I think the Clippers will be able to score in this spot. Team total 114.5. Yeah, I'd be looking towards an over. I think they can get to 115 against the Pelicans defense. Let's see. James Harden triple-double. This is where he goes off, Daryl says. I could see at least a double-double in this spot, Daryl. Couldn't talk you off. Tariq says, good morning, Chris. Hopping on when I can. I like the Nets team total under, Washington team total under, Bucks team total over, with the game going over as well. And I agree with all of those. I don't know about the Nets. I didn't look too deeply into the Nets. It makes sense to fade them. 104 is a low number though. Especially if Cam Thomas comes back. Cam Thomas is a negative defender and a pretty good offensive player. I'm just not sure how much effort the Cavs are going to put into, absolutely slowing down this Brooklyn Nets team. We know the Cavs play fast, so that would talk me off a Brooklyn team total under, even though I can still see it. I do love the other plays though, Tariq. Love the other plays. My ladder Harden assists, rebounds, and threes, Daryl says. Adam says teams laying 15 or more this year are not covering. Let's see what that looks like real quick. And then we'll do a quick recap and get off here. Let's see. Teams laying 15 points. I know the Celtics didn't cover last night. Teams laying 15 points are 16 and 15 against the numbers. So they have been slightly profitable, 51.6%. 19 and 11 to the over. That's 63%. So it says that these big spreads typically go over. And I would say that that's because the team that's laying that many points don't care as much about that game. And I think that that's the case here. Jazz went over their team total last night. Hornets went over their team total when they played the Cavs recently. The Thunder went over their team total. The Nets went over their team total when they played the Thunder recently. It's been a lot more overs as of late. Let's just look at this after the All-Star break. 4-1 to the over are the totals on these 15-point spreads or more. Games are averaging about 235 points. And they're going over by about 8 points per game. So that says a look towards the over between Brooklyn and Cleveland. And I can see it. The Cavs could score 125 if they wanted to. Their team total is 122. Brooklyn could potentially get to 105. So probably a Brooklyn-Cleveland over. I could see that for sure. DJ likes CJ McCollum over 2.5 threes. Clippers coming back around. Lay it. How about them Suns last night? Needed them, Adam. I needed the Suns for sure last night. Only one that I got. 1 and 2 last night. All right. So getting into a quick recap. Milwaukee, Indiana. If I'm playing over. It'd be nice to get Tyrese Halliburton in. This Washington team total, if you're going to grade me on anything today, grade me on this because this is going to be an official play. I just haven't locked it in yet. I'll lock it in right after the show, though. Washington team total under 109.5. And then Zubac, I do like his points and rebounds over the 32.5 if I'm playing anything from a player prop perspective. Jalen Duren also has a really good matchup against the Wizards, just something to take into consideration as well. The Wizards don't really have a true center. So, real quick show today. Best of luck on whatever it is that you are playing. Watch the injury news, of course. It's crazy times out here with the injury news. And I'll catch you guys in tomorrow. I think we got about 8 games. So, check out the resources if you're interested as well. All the links are in the description of the video. And enjoy your Tuesday. Back in the morning. I'm out.